This is another evil trick that the narcissist will use to abuse their victims. And this trick is scapegoat. They use you as their scapegoat. For those of you who don't know what that term is, this is just when you blame everything on somebody else. You use somebody else as the blame for everything that happens. See, the narcissist sees themselves as perfect being. They see themselves as people who cannot do wrong. They can never do wrong. So anything that happens in their lives, they'll blame it on you. So they can have a bad day at their job, they'll say it's your fault. They can put their hands on you, they'll say it's because of you. They'll lie to you, they'll try to come up with a way of saying that it was your fault that they lied on you. If they cheated on you, they'll say maybe you're not acting like a wife, you're not acting like a good girlfriend, da 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 da. They always use you for their problem. Whatever's going on in their lives, they'll use you. They'll blame it on you and they'll punish you for it. Another thing they'll do is they will again use you as a scapegoat for anything that's happening in their personal life, business life, marital problems, financial problems, everything. And some of them will punish you very badly, but some of them will just play the blame game on you. However, ever notice that whenever something good happens in your life, the narcissist will like to take credit for it. They want to take credit for everything good that happens in your life. Even if they didn't have the slightest part to play in it, they'll take credit for it. If you got a job promotion, they'll say it's because they are a supportive husband, supportive wife. Remember, narcissism goes both ways. It's not just men, okay? You have women narcissist and men narcissist. So they'll take credit for anything good that happens in your life. And you know that they had no parts to play in it. And sometimes they even try to sabotage the good things that happen in your life. But they'll still take credit for it. If they're not taking credit for it, they're making you feel bad for having those good things happen to you. And then again, they'll use you as a scapegoat to say that these good things are happening for you because they're using their time and energy to help you, but you're not helping them. Again, you know fully well in your heart of hearts that you do everything for this person. You support them, you pour into them, you just want to be there for them, you want to love on them, but they are not appreciative. They are entitled and they are the most ungrateful people you will ever meet. However, anything that goes wrong in their life is your fault. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. It can be Again, they can be all the way out of state. Sometimes you can even break up with these people and they'll still blame you for their downfalls or their shortcomings. Or I should say the narcissist. The narcissist lost his job way before I even got into a relationship with this person. He lied for months that he was working. He would literally get dressed in the morning, go somewhere. For the funny thing is, these are the dumbest smart people you'll ever meet. They're very dumb. They think everybody is dumb, but these are 2-year-olds. You're dealing with 2-year-olds who don't really think before they do things. So this is the person who was supposed to be this financial advisor who's supposed to spend up to 8 hours in an office, but they get dressed in the morning, leave the house, and come back like literally an hour later. And it takes 40 minutes to get to the job. And I would ask, like, what's going on? And they'll say something like, oh, my clients didn't show up today. But I'm thinking in my head, when did you even get to the place? It takes 40 minutes to get to your job, another 40 minutes to get back. It's only been an hour since you left here. So this was a continuous thing. But what do I know? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know how that stuff works. So they'll say things like, oh, I'm going to take my calls from home, but they're never sitting at the work computer. They have their phones in their hands, but they're never like, it's like, really? I can see you. And then the funny thing is, once the relationship ended, once I guess reverse discard the narcissist, he then went online and told everybody that I told people to call his job and get him fired. You didn't even have a job. Mind you, I ended up finding out about, I want to say 4 or 5 months into the relationship, that dude was fired. He was fired before we even moved in together. But he knew that I knew. We both knew that he was fired. And then 6 months, because the whole relationship was about a year. So after I found out he got fired, we both knew. And I was like, okay, another red flag. A lot of people say, oh, didn't you see the red flag? Girl, we be living in the Red Sea, okay? We see the red flags, but you have hopes and you have potential and you have a good heart, so you want to see the good in people. That's all it was. But you be seeing these things from day one. You see everything, but you try to make excuses. Because you're a good person, so you don't think that other people are that evil, conniving, vindictive. You don't see that in other people. You try to see the good in them. So anyway, literally found out 4 months into the whole situationship relationship, and then about 6 months later, we ended up breaking up. I go my way, and this dude is posting all over the internet that I told people to call his job and fire him. Like, what power do I have to tell anyone to call somebody's job to fire them? And jobs don't just fire people, they have to have evidence. And if it's a good job, like a so-called financial advisor, you have to have evidence of why this person should be fired from their job. Unless the person was a con artist sleeping with old females, widowers or widows, who they knew had money, because they have access to these people's bank information as financial advisor. So what he was doing was conning people. He would see these old women. I'm talking 70-year-old, 68-year-old women come in. Their husbands are dead, but they are like the head of the estate, or they just have money. Some of them even had husbands. And he would illegally take these people's number and call them after their sessions, and he would fake a relationship with them. It's called swindle. He'll swindle them into giving him money or giving him services, and he'll sleep with them, sleep with these old women. And the job ended up finding out, and they fired him like that. So I ended up finding this out later. But then again, back to the story. Months and months later, when everything started, mind you, when the breakup happened, he was the one who started going online and telling everybody our business. When I tell you this person put our whole business out, I can laugh about this stuff now because it's comical. It's funny to me. It wasn't funny when it happened then, because I'm a content creator, but my private life has always been my private life. People think that content creator put everything out there. No, we pick and choose what we want to share. But people see these clips and they think they know everything about you. So before then, the private life was I broke up with this dude months, but we were still living together because he refused to leave my home. I had to get a restraining order to get him out of my house. So once he knew that that was it, it's done, like there's no coming back, he started going online to try to expose me, as he would say. Nothing to expose. All he was exposing was two people in a toxic relationship fighting, and I was not going to let him. What shocked him was he thought I was this dumb, naive little girl from a little town, and he's in Atlanta. I call it Sodom and Gomorrah, but yeah, that's where his little cousins and his little best friends are. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, so when all of these private things were happening, I kept it to myself, kept posting my content, because it's, at the end of the day, it's nobody's business. You choose what you want to share. But he thought that I would go out and start telling people things, so he was the first one to start going out. That's when the smear campaign went online. It was always there, but it was between him and his family and friends. The same people he wasn't talking to when he first met me, he all of a sudden became close to them again and started telling them things. So yeah, went online, told everybody that I called his job and got him fired. But then the story couldn't add up because he couldn't really tell people when he got fired, why he got fired. But apparently I called his job and got him fired. So if you have experienced anything like this, if what I'm saying makes sense, please comment below. But basically, I just say that to say these people, they will use you as a scapegoat. Even when I left his butt, when he was with me, everything was fine and dandy. We lived in a beautiful home that I purchased. We had nice cars, nice things going on, nice vacations, good food, all of that. When I left him, he went back to the ghetto and his life fell apart. But then he blamed everything on me, multiple videos. She's a this, she's that, she came into my life and she did this, she did that, she did this. Anyway, comment your thoughts below if you can relate to what I just said, and there are more videos to come.